My son taught me one of the most important lessons of my life when he was only 2 weeks old. And this is something that has been helping me cope with this whole pandemic thing. And I wanted to share it with you because I believe it can help you too. I knew parenting would be challenging, but I had no idea how challenging it would be. I wasn't getting any sleep or getting any work done, and I didn't have any time to myself. I went from, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me, to, holy what have I done? I felt guilty for having these thoughts, and I was frustrated that I just couldn't get any work done as usual. But one day something became clear. The problem wasn't a lack of sleep or personal time. The problem was the story that I was telling myself. I was focusing on all the things that I had to give up instead of all the things that I gained. I was focusing on how challenging the situation was, not how rewarding. It became clear to me that I only got to be a first-time dad once, and that one day I'll be willing to pay a fortune to go back to that moment and hold my first child again. It became clear that it was a privilege to care for that little person, to watch him grow and teach him good values. The circumstances never changed. My son kept waking up every 2 hours, and I kept waking up with him to change his diapers. But when my story changed, my perception of what was going on changed. I stopped cursing to myself for having to wake up in the middle of the night, and I started feeling so much love and appreciation for him. When I realized how reframing my baby story completely changed that situation, I started wondering how many other aspects of my life I had stories that I needed to rewrite. What stories had I been telling myself about who I was, about work, about money, about relationships? Were those stories serving me or working against me? Since that happened, I started paying much more attention to the people in my life and the stories they tell themselves. It became evident to me that two people could be facing the same circumstances, but have complete different interpretations of what's going on. Let's take this coronavirus pandemic as an example. Some people are depressed because they're in isolation, because companies are laying off employees, because people are dying. And who can blame them? I mean, these are very sad things. But that's not the whole story. This crisis is bringing communities together. We are nicer to each other than we've been in a long time. We are reaching out to old friends. We are checking in with our families, spending quality time with them. Companies are finding creative ways to work remotely and realizing that employees don't need expensive office space or to be micromanaged to get work done. Some companies are hiring more people than ever, and some people are starting the businesses they've been dreaming about for years. People are sleeping more, eating better, and learning how to boost their immune system. We're learning new skills and spending more time on our hobbies. Maybe realizing that life isn't all about work. Look, I'm not minimizing how tragic the situation is. I'm pointing out that there are a lot of positive things coming out of it. I'm pointing out that it's really up to you to decide what part of the story you focus on. I wonder what your coronavirus story will be. Will you remember it as a depressing, lonely moment of your life? Or will you remember it as the event that showed you what really matters to you? Will you come out of this bitter? Or will you come out of it stronger, wiser, and more grateful than ever? It's your life, it's your choice, it's your story. You get to write it, so write a story worth remembering. My name is Zeke, CAMUSIO, and this is Mind Hacks TV. See you next week with a new Mind Hack. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Mind Hacks TV on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram at Mind Hacks TV.